Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to 980 WDDO. This is your God brother, your God son, your God nephew, Vertise Z. Rozier. It's a great morning right here, 980 WDDO, 7:15. That drive time right here with Vertise. Got a lot going on this morning. Got a special guest coming in this morning that I certainly want you to hear. Some things I want to share this morning too. Happy Juneteenth day to all of you. Enjoy your entire weekend, to our families, to our Drive Time family, to our WDDO family. We say good morning to you. Anita Williams Stewart, good morning to you. It's Drive Time right here at Vertise with Vertise Z Rozier and the Drive Time family. Good morning. So I can burn it, and I feel all right. I feel all right. I feel all right. Feel all right. Oh, I came to tell you. I came to tell you. Oh, I came to tell you. He said, he said. All right, good morning to you. Our drive time song for this
Now,
morning.
with Cox Internet and Mobile, the price of your plan won't go up for 3 years.
Hey, Crystal. Anita. Good morning to you. It's drive time.
Tragedies are commonplace. All kinds of diseases. People are slipping away. Economy's down. People can't get enough pay. As for me, all I can say is thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me.
Good morning, caller. You're there.
Hey, Pastor, this is Dave Scott. I just want to say good morning to you.
Thank you so much.
Time. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Folks without homes out in the streets, and the drug habits, some say they just can't beat. Muggers and robbers, no place seems to be safe.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Get ready to bring it on down. You're on flight?
Yeah, we're getting ready to take off.
You getting ready to take off right now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good morning to you. You want to say good morning to the audience before you have to?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth. That's from Bishop Scott. He's getting ready to loading the flight. Thank you all so much. We appreciate it. It's happening right. Boy, I tell you, you got the whole airplane folk on there.
Yeah, you good.
Go the flight attendants. Well, they're taking off this morning. Tell everybody where you're headed, Bishop.
Cleveland, Juneteenth celebration. We're here at the Cleveland for family
Cleveland,
reunion.
Ohio. That's where Lady Scott was really originally born. There, she's really a northern, trying to act southern, but she really a northerner, Man, this is exciting. This morning, Bishop, to be celebrating this entire weekend. But how do we take this beyond today? What would you say to everyone?
I think we have to educate on it so that we would know how important it is, so that we can take it beyond.
Wow, I think that's incredible.
That's something that we have.
Yeah, I got some incredible guests this morning. The Lady Bumpus is coming on this morning. Martin Rowland, I think that's his name, up in D.C. We're going to expect a call from him as well and hear what he has to say on this morning connection of Renee Bumpus. So it's going to be a great morning right here at 980 WDDO. I tell you, we appreciate you so much. Y'all have a safe travel um, on your
Thank you.
way. Wanda Jones, good morning to you. All these incredible folk are on coming on this morning. Such a blessing to us on 980 WDDL. Well, we expecting a great weekend, great time here this morning with the Drive Time family. You certainly be safe. So, like a couple folk are just coming on last minute.
Right.
Hey, sweet darling. I know she's. Is she
I don't know if she
watching?
can
Yeah,
hear me.
she's. I tell you, Sweet Dollar has traveled the world. I'm telling you, it seems like the whole world. I'm
Yes, she
telling you, man.
has.
Well, Bishop, it's going to be a great day. We'll be back here in the morning. You'll be back tomorrow. Y'all be safe,
Hmm.
and we're praying for you as you travel. That God will give you all a wonderful
Thank you.
reunion there up in Cleveland,
Thank you.
Ohio, and tell everybody, you whenever you travel, you tell them get on this app. So we appreciate
Oh, you're
it.
right
Yeah, we
about it.
appreciate
Cleveland is actually on. Cleveland, when they came to Atlanta, I put them on there, so they're
Cleveland
already
is
on.
on this morning. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exciting. And also we want
Hmm.
everybody to get excited about hey Nevy, the Travy, good morning, about the fifth Sunday. Antonio Jackson is on this morning, Jess's oldest son, by way of Bishop. Well, but anyway, um, um,
Mhm.
but we want everyone to get excited about the fifth Sunday. Talk about that for a few minutes before you take your flight.
So this Sunday is going to be our drive time family reunion. So we're gonna meet right at 26, 27 Mayfield Avenue right there in Macon, Georgia. Our parking lot is going to be a good time. It's going to be food. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fellowship. You know how we do when we get together. So anybody come out this Sunday,
Fifth
4
Sunday at
o'clock,
4 o'clock.
26, 27
We also
Mayfield.
have a special French fry stand for Antonio Jackson on that day as well. Just French
Is radio going to
radio,
be there?
radio. I hope radio be here. I hope radio. Auntie Geraldine, good morning to you. So it's exciting as always right here, 107.9. I'm going to be on today quite a bit of a time today. Hey, Jarius, what's happening, nephew? The presiding president family. Good morning to you, bitch. That's Jarius on this morning. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so exciting this morning. I'm going to have Renee Bumpus on this morning, and we're going to be hearing from Roland. Martin Roland, I think that's how to pronounce it correctly. And Van Cherry, good morning, my friend. I forgot about my gas card. I got it right here, brother. I got it right here. So, Bishop, be careful, be safe in your travel. We get ready to go into our drive time this morning. Hold on just a
Yes,
second.
sir.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Wait. That's it. Drive time.
Well, give me some hand. Bishop, could you put in the booking information for Roscoe Tour?
One more time.
Put in the booking information for Roscoe Tours. Type it in.
Okay.
Good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in to 980 WDDO. This is your God, brother. Hold on. This is your God, brother, your godson, your God nephew, Vertise Z. Rozier. This is a drive
Thank
time
you.
where the entire country and world, now community and family, we come together and we live, we love, and we laugh. So it's going to be a great day, starting of the weekend of Juneteenth. Happy holiday to you, and we want you to have a successful weekend. So many activities are going on. Chandrell, right here. Let's call the roll this morning. Give me your hello in your very own way. Bishop Don Harris Scott, good morning to you. Anita, Anita Williams Stewart, good morning to you. Lady Scott, good morning to you. Good morning to you, sweet darling. Good morning, Crystal McCork a little. Good morning, Travy Mitchell, Wanda Jones. Good morning to you, Neve True. true Leo Franklin Hogan. Good morning, her mama, the name of that. Good morning, Lisa Williams Riggins. Good morning, Geraldine Woodford. Good morning, Antonio Jackson. Good morning to you, Geraldine, Auntie Geraldine. Good morning, Sister Chairman Jarius Sanders. Good morning to you, Cynthia Searcy, Antonio Jackson. Good morning, Van Cherry. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ali Wash, Chantrell Combe, Latrell Taylor, Chavis Perry. Good morning to you, Shirley Hughes. What about Shirley? Good morning to you. Happiest Juneteenth to all of you this morning, guys. Mo, good morning to you. You don't want to miss. I got special guests coming in this morning. We're going to be hearing some great things this morning. President accounted for Cynthia Searcy. Good morning to you. Hit share for me. Chantrell says, hey, the bishop. Hit share for me and like. This is going to be a takeoff show. Your mama the name, you know, True Leo. Girl, don't be. Good morning to you. And that man gave you them other names, them man several. But good morning to all of you. We are glad to have you on. We got a special guest coming in this morning. We're going to hear a lot of great things here on this morning. But most of all, I want you to prepare for the fifth Sunday, which is the Drive Time Reunion Tailgate Party. It's going to be right here, 2627, as Bishop has said earlier. We want everybody to come and be a part of it and just bring your character too, bring your personalities, and and all right here on that day. Sit down, man. On that day, Bishop, you're on Delta, right? You're on Delta. Yeah, he's on Delta. Chevis, good morning to you. So Renee Bumpus is coming in here this morning, Bishop. She always bring truth. She always bring truth. And so I'm excited about it. Because a lot of answers and things need to be said. But today we're going to live, we're going to love, and we're going to laugh. Amen. If you plan on showing up for the fifth Sunday, drive time tailgate party and reunion, type in real quick, I'll be there. Type that in, I'll be there. We would like to have everybody here that day. We're going to have food, fun, laughter. It's just going to be just amazing. It's always going to be amazing. Whenever the family get together, we always have a grand time. So it's going to be a grand time with you. You make it exciting for us, and you said we make it exciting for you, but you certainly make it exciting for us. So come at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. Donese Commissioner, the Commissioner Donese Bryant Truth. Good morning to you, Crystal Karen Jones. Cookie Jones. What is he talking about? Shelvis. Shelvis, call me. I don't know what you're talking about. What is he talking about? Wanda Jones. Wanda Jones. Oh, I got to call her. Wanda Jones said, I'll be there. Shelvis Perry will be there. All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's the Sunday. If you're going to be here with us for our drive time reunion, we want everybody here. Tell all of our drive time people, all of our friends, I'll be there if the creek don't rise. The chairman, the assistant chairman deacon board, Jarius Sanders, who he presided Sunday, Bishop did a wonderful job. Can I make a German chocolate cake? No. Bless me. That would be a hard, as Anthony Robinson said, that would be a hard no. I'm tagging people. Thank you, Chevis. Thank you so much. We want you there with us. Hey, Cuz is on this morning. Cuz, give me a call. We're talking about the drive time reunion. 478-250-144. We want to talk to everyone. We want you here. Just bring yourself, bring your family, and every drive time family member, bring something to drink. Just bring something to drink. And if you would like to bring a dish on that day, please do that. That's Twiggs County Talk. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, give me a call, cuz 478-250-1444. It is going to be if the creek don't rise. It is. What? That is something else we used to say to that. If the something and the creek don't rise, they sure doing a lot of walking. You tell them old Pentecostal preacher, wait a minute, there's too much walking going on in here. All right, now let's go back to preaching. Cuz, give me a call, 478-250-1444. Want everybody to be here. I'm going to be talking about that because it's only 1 week away. So next week, we're going to be talking about it every day. Going to put a commercial on about it being here for the Drive Time ninth annual. It's the ninth year. Is that correct? The ninth year reunion for the Drive Time family. So, good morning to all of you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. I have a lot of things we're going to be sharing this morning. Emia David, happy belated Father's Day to Bishop Don from Preach Black Man. And upon your return, please swap those letters behind Apostle from ODO to WDDO. Be safe. Well, you come do it. He always got something to say.
The screen is just inverted. Your feed is just inverted. That's all.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Bishop. So he just need to get himself together. All right. 47 478-250-1444. God willing, Hazel Thomas will be here. So bless you. We're gonna have a lot of people here that day, and I'm really, really excited about it. And then the second Friday in July, we're taking the seniors back to finish their MLK tour.
Cool.
It was a lot of things that we did not, but Bishop, tell them a little bit about what they did experience and the information that Eartha brings as well.
Yes. She's very engaging. She did the Fleet Auburn area. She gave a tour of all the houses of John Wesley Bob, and CJ Walker's first stop. Showed us the SCLC building, um, the Peacock, which was a very famous club back in the day that brought in all the talent. So it was a wonderful experience. She talked about Ebenezer Baptist Church, the new and the old, and she gave us a little history on Wheat Street Baptist Church. So we also got an opportunity to see Dr. King's house and just the community that he was in. It was a good. Not only that, she gave us some songs and some history of when they would travel together and things of that sort. So it was something to behold. So yeah, we want to take more with us the next time. We need to make sure we register so we have enough space for everyone. But we're going to conclude this time indeed with
Pascals.
pastors. So once we get through with the tour, then we're going to go to pastors to
So,
eat for our
and this
conclusion.
lady, Eartha Sims, she actually was in the household with Dr. King and
Okay.
Bernice and Dr. Ferris, and so she's very.
She's the goddaughter of
Yeah,
Mother
she's the
King.
goddaughter of Mother King, and she, when I tell you, she give you specifics on everything John Lewis and how her father walked with them and how she was there, and Tom Hawk, which was Martin Luther King's
Right.
driver. Also,
Mhm.
he gives so much great history. Julian Bond will be there this time with us as well, and even in the houses, and we're going to the cemetery too, where a lot of the
Mhm.
leaders, John Lewis and different ones, are buried. So it is so exciting, and you really don't want to miss it. And after that, we're going to Pasco's. Now, last time we had about how many, Bishop? We had about 80.
80
80,
people.
yeah,
Mhm.
I had 50 some on my bus, and you had 30, 36 or something on your bus. So we had over
Right.
80 people going with us. Good morning, caller, you on there.
Good morning.
Good morning, cuz. How are you?
You tried to get me. You know when I came on, I was just getting up.
Your cuz, you need to get that's retirement stuff. You taking too far. You taking this thing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
cuz, you said let me get myself together before I get on here sound like Auntie Lane.
Oh, that's what I now how you know I said that? I said, wait a minute. Let me get my voice together before I get on this air because I'm gonna sound like Auntie Lane this morning, okay? Yeah.
Auntie Laney gonna get y'all. She gonna get
I
y'all.
know that's what you said.
I said, Papa, no. When I sign on, I'm just getting up. I'm just getting up.
Well, are you excited about the fifth Sunday?
I am excited. I am excited. It's going to be a wonderful extravaganza.
Yes, it is.
We're going to have a great time. Just enjoying and seeing everybody once again. It's going to be great. So please come out, enjoy yourself, have fun, laugh. We're going to have food. We're going to just enjoy ourselves. We're going to have vendors out to
Yes.
come out and support them. And we're just going to have a great time. So just come out and enjoy.
And we want that if you're a Drive Time member of the Drive Time, those are the vendors that we want that whatever you have, bring it that day and set up and be a part of selling whatever you have to the family and to the public. We're gonna have food catered, but also every drive time member to bring a dish if you would like, as we did on the first one. But we have catered food that would be catered here as well, and Deacon Layback is doing the barbecuing.
That's wonderful.
Cynthia Searcy's husband,
Oh, thank you. You
De-
can lay back.
Deacon Layback. So I'm so excited. Our family is catering. Our mom and Shad and said, the ones that catered the well with the sneakers ball.
Right, right.
Ooh, cause if y'all eat
Mm.
one more piece of cake of my mama's cake, I'm gonna throw all y'all out of there.
Well, we're ready for the cake.
We were-
You know we're ready for the cake. And Pam has already put her order in.
Oh, have she not? Have she not?
Sister, sister.
And, and listen, Crystal McCorkle Little is going to supply the desserts, Bishop, on that day as well, too. And Crystal can throw down.
Oh, yeah. She knows what she's doing in the kitchen.
Ain't nobody else. And so it's
Ain't
gonna
no,
be an exciting day. I'm looking for 200 or 300 people or more.
oh, my goodness.
Well, we had about 150 we had about 200 at the first one.
Uh-huh. We
Was it,
did.
Bishop, about 200 people at the very first one?
It was. I saw the pictures the other day. I'll send it to you so you
Yeah,
can
I'm
put
gonna
them up
put
there on the
those.
calendar. Yeah, it was about 200 people.
Man, it's going Mama bringing some
It's
hot
going to
water
be great.
cornbread.
Oh, my goodness.
Let me
Now,
tell you
she's
this.
going to have everybody just, after this, they're going to go home and go to sleep because they're not going to be any good
At all.
after they finish eating.
At all. Cynthia seriously did have a request because she make a German chocolate cake.
Mm.
You remember what
She,
that lady you remember what that
Absolutely
lady
not.
said on
your
Color
birthday.
Purple when she said, "Would you like to be my maid?"
Is Cynthia making the cake for your birthday?
Child, please, I couldn't get that cake beyond my teeth. When
Okay. Cynthia's going to get you.
I
She's
ain't
going to
getting
get
all that stuff. I don't way I eat Cynthia cake if I swallow a garbage bag first. Hey,
you. You
Bishop.
know it's on. You know it's on now.
Yeah,
You know it's
I
on
know,
now.
Bishop.
She's
How
going
did
to
you
get
turn your head and look at that cake that day? it, it looks like a German chocolate. It stands like a German chocolate. But baby, when you cut it,
The grains were falling off. That was
what,
interesting.
did smoke come out of it when you cut it?
Somewhat, it was somewhat smoky.
Kuna Matata. I had the word. But Drive Time
I
has
love
brought
you,
so
Cynthia.
much life to people every morning. And
It does.
some days that people just didn't feel it. And Beverly Gatson, you better be here. Beverly Gatson from South Carolina says she want to come. Come on down.
Come on down.
So
Come
I'm
on
I'm
down.
excited.
It's
That's people.
around the corner.
It's around the corner. People are wanting to come from um, all over the United States. Truthfully, that's the truth. And so I'm excited because
And
Drive Time reach all over.
That's right. Just tell them to come on down.
My
We
God,
got room for everybody.
there is room at the cross. It's
We
gonna.
got room for everybody. We got
Wow.
room in at the corner. We got room across the street. We got room everywhere. They can park on the street. We just come on.
All we want them to do is do it. It's
That's
great. It's gonna be exciting.
it.
And you know what, Bishop and cuz it is something when all God's people get together and Auntie Lane just came on, y'all. I'm glad she just came on.
Oh,
Oh,
Auntie Lane, it wasn't me.
oh my God, today.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It could have
It
been.
wasn't.
It could have been.
It was Apostle. You know who it
Yeah,
was.
I try to do my best because the best I can do when my best is being done. How
That's
about
right.
that?
It's do your best. That's it.
Oh, well, it's the fifth Sunday. I got my guest. I got Renee Bumpers on this morning with me. So I'm so excited about what's about to happen right here on 980 WDDO. Cuz, tell me what time it is. Stay tuned.
It's drive time.
Give me that next caller right now, 478-250. Good morning. Let's put these things on. Let's put those on and bring that. Let me get that chair to come around for. Good morning. Good morning. Caller, you on the air?
Good morning, Bishop. I know you on that airplane, and I see you smiling. They're talking about my cake, but
Mm.
y'all gonna stop talking about my cake.
I think your
All
cake
right.
is talking about you.
No, I told you I didn't know how to bake one. I tried, so give me credit for the
Okay,
try
you
part.
did try to bake a cake that almost killed a brother.
It did not kill you. You still alive. God kept you. But
That was attempted
it was
murder.
what you
attempted murder.
said, Bishop?
He said it was attempted murder.
Bishop,
You know his wife is a judge. Be careful.
Bishop. But I know his wife is on my side.
I don't know. When it come down to Don Scott, I don't think so.
Well, the cake wasn't for Don. It was for you.
Well, my well, my wife, when she realized what the insurance was, she probably wanted me to go on and eat it.
But anyway, we truly are a family. We act just like family.
That's what we
Simply.
are.
That's what we are. We live, love, and laugh. But I'm gonna let Deep know. He know he's supposed to be barbecuing.
Yes, he been by here and talked to me.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's right. He paid us that little $15, didn't he?
Get off my phone. What time it is?
It's try time.
It's right here down here. Read that, Bishop. I got the one and only, none like Renee Bumpers. Renee, pull that mic down so they can see your face.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully well. How about you?
My God, today I'm doing wonderful. Our bishop is
Hey,
getting ready to
Bishop.
they headed to Cleveland, Ohio.
I knew he was on a plane. He looked like he's right in first class, like he should be.
Right now, no one and fabulous as always.
Well, just wonderful.
Well, God bless the
God
people.
is good
What you say
all the time.
and all the time.
The Lord is good.
Yeah, Renee Bumper is Juneteenth
Yes.
today, and it's exciting to know that we can take this beyond the walls. Talk about this day and how we're going to impact change for our community. Talk to us.
Well, the day is a very important day, and it's a federal holiday.
Yes, it is.
That's how important it is. It recognizes the slavery walk. It recognizes how we got here. It recognizes it should be in remembrance of us coming together as community and family.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then as we take this life or where we are serious, I think that there is something missing. I think there is something missing, and it's called truth.
Mm.
And if we don't bring truth back in, we're going to be back in that day all over again by default.
By default. And I totally agree. I think that's why I can't let it go. I can't sit by or sit still and think that everything's okay right here in my back door.
Yes.
It's not okay.
Yes. Yes.
And so it takes a person who is fit to understand the dynamics after watching and observing it before I started talking. I think that's the most disturbing part is that people have a way of trying to keep us in a box because
That's
we're in
true.
ministry, right?
That's true.
And so when we speak up and speak out, it 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 takes it
What's the
takes
fear
courage.
though? What's the fear?
The fear, I think it relies totally on an acceptance, and it's not about whose side you on. You should just be
Truth.
a part of right and truth,
Right.
right?
Right.
And
Right.
so there comes a time where people um, don't want to hear it, or we try to close it down because it's harsh. It hurts.
Mhm.
It hurts the core of any community when we are so divided like we are here in Macon Bibb County.
Well, let's hear this. I think it's a very important clip that we need to hear. Let me get this on this morning. This is explain this clip to everyone real quickly.
Roland Martin was at the 32nd Juneteenth luncheon last week, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and we know
Of this city, and you are in the condition that you are in.
Yeah.
I need black leaders, black political leaders. I need business leaders. I need preachers in this city to explain to me, how are you so comfortable in a city that literally practices economic apartheid against black people? I need you to ask the question of the black mayors that were elected before you. How is it that they were complicit in allowing the economic apartheid to continue? There is no way in the world you can have a city that is 62% African American and your contracts don't even reach 25%. That means that every black person in this city that is paying property taxes, sales taxes, you are spending money, you are virtually not getting a return on your investment. But we are just happy with the facade of leadership. But Memphis, I need y'all to explain to me, how in the hell you are 62% of this city and you are in the condition that you are in? I need black leaders, black political leaders. I need business leaders. I need preachers in this city to explain to me, how are you so comfortable in a city that literally practices economic apartheid against black people? I need you to ask the question of the black mayors that were elected before you. How is it that they were complicit in allowing the economic apartheid to continue? There is no way in the world you can have a city that is 62% African American and your contracts don't even reach 25%. That means that every black person in this city that is paying property taxes, sales taxes, you are spending money, you are virtually not getting a return on your investment. But we are just happy with the facade of leadership. But Memphis, I need y'all to explain to me, how in the hell you are 62%.
Well,
Hey, isn't that a mere reflection of who we are?
who we are.
That's how we got here. And economics is everything.
It's everything.
Economics is just as important as the qualities of integrity, honesty, trustworthiness, dependable, and all those things. And what he's simply saying is to Memphis, Memphis is in a dire strait, just like Macon, Georgia. It's a mere reflection. There are close to 70% of people of color right here in our community.
Right.
And he put it real clear. And
I've talked to several of our people of our community.
Yeah.
And I'm, you know me, I'm truth.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
you
truth,
are.
the truth. All I hear is a sense of betrayal. They feel betrayed. They
Wow.
feel that we trusted people or we trust
Right.
leaders to really fight for us, and they fight so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then it seems as though the fight stops, or they cannot, or they're restricted from. They give us enough to make us think they're for us.
Right. And that's the sad part about this community. I can only speak for what I'm living. The administration leadership at 700 Popular Street, and this is why I had a problem day one. The platform agenda has not even been touched. You know, when you call the roll and do the checklist. So when we talk about this piece of economic development, it simply says that minority contractors should benefit and be at the table as well. And do you know that number here in Macon is a single digit number?
What?
So we do not have black millionaires in our community because we've been alienated during the process of who gets the bids. So when you go down um, to 700 Popular Street and you go through the process, it's hard to do business in a town like Macon, Georgia. So you are either labeled or blackballed to not even be a part of the process and bidding for major contracts. And so it's so important to know the history of how we got here is by design. And so Mr. Martin is simply saying, why are we allowing this facade to continue? And we know that we as a community, we're not benefiting.
We're not benefiting.
And not at all.
Tia Lockhart says here in Macon, we're not building people. How can the focus be on making Macon a tourist town when community members are suffering in the way that they are?
It is. It's by design, and until it stems of a group of people are benefiting. Okay, so there is a class of people that have benefited, no matter the economic part of what they got from it. That's why our community has now in a posture of we've sold out. We've sold out our voice. We sold out in sharing what's going on. Why can't we have this? Why is this facility in dire strait? Why did we take the approach of building an amphitheater when we had 2 decades of SPLOS money? Explain to me, how did we not allow and allocate those dollars for a new jail? So what we do is we pacify it and it becomes a facade because we don't think any activity is brewing behind it. The accountability lies in the administration having served a full term already. So Lester, it belongs to you.
Right.
So when we come down to funding those dollars, it's the mayor and the commissioner's responsibility. And I just find it so unique that you have to point these things out, because if we don't point these things out, then we think it's someone else's responsibility without knowing the facts of what's going on.
That's true.
And it just puts us in a posture where, you know what, we'll go up to the dome and we're going to make him get another 3rd term because he's doing such a fabulous job. But no, a community is suffering because the equity piece is not displayed economically.
Good God.
And so it's not fair for me to eat at night and your family not eat.
And why is it not equally? What has is if I speak truth? Because I even look at Malone, LJ Malone, and different ones that because they speak truth, it brings on blackballing or get fired or we don't support what you do anymore. But do we realize that that's hurting our very own communities?
It is, and retaliation doesn't exist. It shouldn't exist. It should retaliating based on that you don't agree with me or you don't accept my way of thinking. We wasn't designed that way. God didn't create us that way.
I was very, 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 very disappointed. Carlton Kitchens, who is a wonderful young man in this community, I believe that,
Yeah.
and I stand on that. A black businessman trying to
Oh yeah.
live his life, and to see political leaders attack just one of it's almost like me attacking one of my members in my church and they give him an
Exactly.
offering. That just doesn't
And you know what? I when I looked at that situation, and
that bothered me.
it bothered me. It bothered me to the point where I picked up the phone to call him to ask him was he okay? Because at the end of the day, Constitution elected officers have to answer to the people.
That's it.
And we voted and put these people in place. And so they feel they've got safeguards around them where they don't have to answer or respond or delete a message, thinking that we don't have the sense to know we can screenshot anything that's out there on social media. So it was very disrespectful how he did Carlton Kitchens. Um, it was unnecessary. Um, Lester was voted in, and he has to be held accountable. And so, what is wrong with us holding political positions?
But when you go that low
Yeah.
to talk about somebody's record, well, first of all, the man got kids, he got grandkids, he got family. You don't just hit me, you're
You hit-
hitting my whole family. Do you
Right.
think of that? And I think of things like that.
But you know what's, and you're exactly right. But what is more disturbing as a community, we don't see any shame in that. We have not voiced our opinion and say, if he did it to Carlton, he'll do it to anybody.
That's it.
And so that mentality of trying to justify, now you want to implement initiatives of what you're doing. Lester Miller only created initiatives because we kept voicing our opinion. He knows he's responsible for allocating the fund. Why should we do another SPLOS when we've had millions and millions? I know one SPLOS produced over $600 million.
God.
I can go back as far as to say since I've been in Macon, I have seen 2 SPLOS passed in this community. So take accountability.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
You said that they were talking about the jail. The conditions of the jail. There's several things I want to talk about concerning that. Number one, I understand that when C. Jack Ellis was in office, that was land purchase. And I hear people say, well, we're planning on building the jail. I have one question. Where are the plans?
Wow. Let me say this. When Jack was in office, Jack was one of the most smartest government-minded people that our community had. But then he started getting attacked, and I think that took him off the purpose of the jail, because when the government is coming after you and they're asking for this, that, and the third, another distraction. So we had Mayor Rickard after him. So Mayor Rickard knew exactly about the jail situation, and conversation was just taking place. Where is the money? What happened to those funds that we voted on as a community in SPLOS dollars? So I do know, and I'm talking about only what I know. Those allocated of those funds were not directed to the purpose that they told us it would be.
So there are no plans.
It probably is somewhere, but I ain't never seen them. I've never shared it with the community. I have a problem with the fact that Lester has served a full term, and he's just now addressing the jail.
So if the jail housed 900
Mm-hmm.
and it's 1,100 in there, and you're gonna let 100 out,
Mm-hmm.
it's still overcrowded.
It's still overcrowded. But why not this? Why not take those inmates and make sure that they're taken care of? That's a problem I have with this. This is ill-humane how they're treated, right?
That's correct.
So why can't Lester be smart enough to say, you know what, we're going to divvy this many inmates to Houston County,
Mm.
Twiggs County. We're going to send them
Jones
to
County.
Jones County and really put them in a situation where they can actually go in there and clean it properly, sanitize it, rebuild it, restore it, or whatever. Do it the right way. So he said on yesterday on Askey Lane's show, he said that he had allocated $6 million for rodents and for the pest part of it. So why can't we be smart enough and creative enough to say the jails are packed? Let's clean it out, because it would be beneficial for us to start from a foundational cleanup versus from you saying, you know what, I'm gonna put an ankle bracelet on somebody's wrist or arm to monitor. There's no way possibly that they can monitor that many. They can't do it now. They're not doing the right processes through the courts now.
And I think it set people up to have more time. Say if you didn't answer, or we didn't. It gives a sense of, let's throw them back in jail. Let's give them more time. It controls their life a little longer.
Exactly. But his message is on crime. He presented that he was going to clean things up. He was going to provide jobs. He was going to do this, that, and the third. And he's failed his record. His record is what I'm challenging. The inability to do what you need to do as mayor. The job description, if you look at the job description for the mayor, it's deep. It's about the grassroots of the community. For him to insult any of us, we should be challenging that. And not smiling and grinning at the foolishness of a Trumpism mindset. It's totally what it is. So what I can relate to Roland Martin is, where are the millionaires?
Where are the pastors? Where are the
Where
churches?
are the pastors? Let's talk about the pastors. You know,
Where are the churches?
Well,
the church is where it started at.
It did. And I'm going to have to say this angelical posture of how we got here was by design. You got to know your history.
You got to know your history.
You got to know your history to understand, how are we in this shape? Why are we now talking about going to war? Why are we in this shape? Because facade leadership. It stems down to people who don't have the capacity or the competence.
Explain facade leadership.
Facade leadership is accepting any and everything that is not in the goodwill of people. That's all it is. It's a selfishness and greed.
It's a Pharaoh mindset.
It is. And if I stay another term, I can steal more. I can take more. I can benefit more. That's the mindset. And that's why the Republicans shot it down. We don't want you to have a third term. His own cohorts, his own political party said no to him.
And to find out, Renee Bumpus, that a lot of what you've been saying a long time, and people will look at, well, she's crazy. Now it's coming to surface that this woman was telling the truth. What's your
You know, it's not about me, and it's not about my husband, but the retaliation has been mirrored to be an eye-opening experience for every household that's in this community. So it's not about credit. That means absolutely nothing to me. And why I sleep good at night is because my heart is clean. My hands are clean. My mouth is clean.
Yes.
So I have not subjected myself. And my husband says this all the time. A person will either give you a hand up or a hand out based on if it's going to benefit you.
Oh.
The crumbs that we have taken from this administration is harming us because the attachment is too great of retaliation when you don't agree with me.
It was just said, he doesn't listen to constructive criticism. Anyone who has a view of making different than his, he either attacks or blocks on social media. Zakiya Muhammad says, right That's like roach bombing one apartment in an apartment complex. That's not going to do nothing but go to the next apartment, then eventually come back later. You got to remove everyone and clean out, restore the whole jail or rebuild. I'll still say that if we can leave places with a legacy, or we can leave embarrassed.
Well, you've been on it, Apostle. And what it says to me is, if we can't find solutions, don't put band-aids on these. I'm gonna create a task force, or all it is to take the attention off of what he's supposed to do.
And constantly divide us.
And divide us. Because the conversation is peer. It's his way of saying, I got him again. I got him. Behind the scenes, he's laughing and joking about this with a few people who are benefiting. And some crumbs will only set you up for failure. When you take dirty money, when you take your voice away, it puts you in a posture where you can't move.
But then it's bad too that it situates that we listen so that our own communities sometimes are afraid to support our Black businesses.
Oh, yeah.
And it's become sad.
What's
your view on that?
It has. And small business is important. My husband was the director of economic development in Macon, Bibb County.
Wow.
Okay. And small business. And so Bumpus was able to produce serious contracts based on the community involvement. And they didn't like it. That's why they came after him, because he had the potential of doing what they did not want. And they don't want Black entrepreneur businesses to be successful. That's why my phone rings constantly to say, Miss Bumpus, I need your help. I need your help because I'm downtown. I'm starting my business. The building is collapsed and I can't get a response from code enforcement. A gentleman was on WMAZ the other day, 33 years of being a Black business owner and a car detail, but the gas station next door to him is infested with critters and rodents, and then the homeless community is in there, and it's causing his business to be affected. I can name numerous of things that people reach out to me through inbox and say, can you put some attention on this? Can you put some attention? But we cannot take Lester's money and build a better community. It just ain't gonna be right, because the fairness is not involved in it. And you have to play everybody the same way. So the economic development piece, there's no new dollars. When I talk about economics, I'm talking about dollars.
Dollars, of course.
There's no new dollars coming in this community. And we think about it, there's no new businesses.
All right.
There's no new industry, right?
That's correct.
And so the core of a community will start to crumble based on the lack thereof.
And that's some things I'm noticing that we want to get credit for, or, hey, I did it, was established through other mayors. It was knocked down. And sometimes I feel that some people really just didn't want to see a Black mayor, and I'm not discriminative, be successful. Here you saying you're doing the same thing, but it's
exactly. So hold everyone accountable, no matter what their race, their gender, none of that. It matters that the community is served in the best light for a thriving community. What is so bad about this situation? We are not thriving. We're dying. We're not thriving. And I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to be passive. I'm not going to be intimidated by the foolishness. Y'all know I speak a lot about the administration, but he ain't came after in text or emailed me or put something crazy on social media about me.
Right.
The question y'all need to be asking is why he hasn't done that.
That's true.
So if you pick on one person in the community, you picking on all of us in the community.
So when Roland speaks of where are the churches, where what do you feel that he's saying to us right now? Because it was so actually
Yeah.
when I saw it, I thought he was here.
Wow. Wow. Let me say this. It a mere reflection. And what Roland Martin has said is exactly what I've been saying. This is not normal. This is not fair for us to be a community of color. We lack in every entity.
What's the fear? Why have our constituents, our
Our
speak to a lot
politicians
of
and all that.
what has happened that they are saying, I want to vote. I'm hearing this radio station hear a lot of things. I want to vote. I just rather not vote than to be betrayed. But the people that's telling me to vote are the ones that's betraying me.
Oh yeah, and
So how do we handle that?
I think conversations like we're doing now, I think we got to stop, take the blinders off, and really truly do your research and see what's taking place. The engagement in the community is important because you can't talk about something that you don't know. And so does that register in the voting booth? Does that affect the voting booth? Yes, it does. Because if we put the wrong people in place, that affects every entity.
I'm told money. I didn't know this money is being given to churches.
Yeah, it's some pastors that done that. And let me say this, because it's important. At the end of the day, when people sell a community out, it's two agendas that I think they are driven by. Number one is they don't care about me, or I don't have what I need, so I'm in a situation where I need to take this money. Two, they lack the spirit of a community. They're not.
When you say lack the spirit of community, I like that. Explain that to my audience.
Spirit of community is when we all have come to a senses that we are improving the quality of life for individuals, when the poverty rate significantly gets better instead of going in the wrong direction. We have a bad poverty level here.
Right.
The quality of life, I'm talking about the environment, I'm talking about the air we breathe. It's toxic. We don't regulate, we're not managing, and we're not putting these companies in compliance to what we need as a community. Then you have this piece of a spirit of community. Some of them are winning, they think, and then there's a crowd of us that's watching and we're silent. And for those people that have taken crumbs from this administration, shame on you, because it's not about a spirit of community. That's that's selfishness. That speaks on, I don't care. They ain't gonna do any better. This is what it is. Now you have to understand why I'm so compassionate about my community is the charter was built by design. And if you don't understand the history of Macon, at the Middle Georgia Region Commission that sits over there on Gray Highway on Emory, it speaks of keeping Macon-Bibb County poverty-stricken, community of non-economics, keeping the graduation rate at 50%. These are the things that was written in the charter to say that we can't allow for this community to thrive. And it was a group of white men who created that charter. And we don't even know what that looks like because we don't want to face the fact. But no, I had preachers in this community that get up on a Sunday morning and put their emphasis on what Renee Bumper said. You need to preach Jesus.
Are you?
Yeah, you need to preach. You need to preach Jesus and the love of Jesus. That's and the resurrection of making us better. Don't be worrying about what I'm doing. Don't worry about how I do it or what I said, and I know who he is. I think it's very childish, you know.
So
So, but that's what we have. We got an old guard of preachers that they ain't building it up, and they ain't talking.
Let's see what the comments are saying. Bernard has a commercial on WDDO. Tia Lockhart says, "Speak truth to power." Antonio Jackson said, "He's saying we are not together as a people." Denise Bryan says, "Here, I gave that one." But Phyllis Renee Theodore says, "Voter education to ones who do not want to vote."
They give them a piece of chicken, LJ. They like going to these luncheons and getting a piece of chicken.
Oh, that's what it is, the chicken.
Yeah, and you eat from the master's king's table. What happens?
Desmond Brown said, "We must call those leaders out and vote them out."
Well, I know one thing: the movement is real.
It is real.
It's becoming real.
It is real. It's like that. It's like that president in Africa. That new president in Africa.
Yes.
He is showing France and all the others the way. Listen, we know how to build.
That's right.
We know how to survive.
And Africa is a country that does not need anything from another country.
Isn't that something?
And that's how they build their government. USA, we should be in a better situation, but we have allowed bad policies based on bad politicians.
Well, what do you...
Did y'all hear what I just said?
Oh, I heard what you said. Now I may need to write that down and put that together.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Whoa, okay. L.J. Malone says Mayor Council of Clergy is headed by Reverend Ficklin. Tia Lockhart said our people need civic education because we've never been invited though. Our people need civic education because we need to understand policy and how it affects our daily lives. We focus too much on politician popularity, which breeds this environment we currently find ourselves in. If that's the case, Brother Malone, we can forget any feedback from the council. Wow.
Yeah. And then I have to say, call a spade a spade. I think it's so important. The Bible tells us that you should know a tree. You should know the fruit it bears, right? And so what we've done is we put a Band-Aid on acceptance. Well, at least they trying, they doing something to make us better. But we ain't talking about the deafness of a generation of ruins. We're not giving a foundational platform for our children. It's an embarrassment that we don't have jobs for them in the summer. Workforce development.
Why don't we have, and I know you probably can't answer that, but we feed 350 people every Friday here.
Amazing.
Every Friday. When we drive around, why is homelessness
so prevalent? It is. And it's because, and I'm going to have to say, when we talk about this piece, we can talk about the mental illness, we can talk about the environment, we can talk about the homelessness. Our community does not have great options. We don't have great options in picking and choosing. When people are destitute and they don't have decent incomes, affordable lives to the point where you cannot live off a minimum wage.
But what the African Burkina Faso is saying is, if we as a Black community learn how to pour into each other, it'll change. Even with our business here, and not we don't want no glory, but even with our business here,
it is the glory.
You immediately say, "Oh, what do you need?" We send it right before we even get off the phone. Hey, it's done. Pastor Pastor Odom says, until we put a renewed focus on rebuilding our community, we will never be able to fight the powers that be effectively. There is no order in our community.
It's none. And let's talk about how we got here. We got here based on the fact that they pushed a consolidated government. And guess who was behind the consolidated government document? Lester Miller. So He's been working, in my understanding, in my research, and I've been here almost 20 years. He's been working that way. That's why we're in the shape of the Board of Education. We're, we don't have a budget, and the budget was really slim and short. And I'm glad some teachers and people are getting an increase. But the bottom line is, Lester was the chair of the Board of Education. So when people were getting excited about Lester, he dropped the millage rate down. But guess what? It finally caught up with us with the budget deficit. I mean, it all makes sense. Leadership is important.
Tony says that a house is built from the bottom up, not the top down. And he's tried to build a city from the top down and didn't start from
exactly. But that's what I was talking about this summer. Our children don't even have a workforce program. It stopped about 10 years ago. But he could have implemented, this new administration could have implemented something for our children, our teens to do and to make money so they can buy the school supplies and school clothes for the fall. He's just not an adequate leader. He's not a leader.
And that's what you said that I thank God for Roscoe Tours. We've been working in Atlanta this week, and the mayor has allocated funds that we've taken 12 different recreation centers.
Wow.
Kids free to different events and things all week long. Matter of fact, we have 4 more tomorrow. That says drop your kid off. We got them all day. They have
it's wonderful.
I thought
well,
it was
that's
just
because
amazing.
You got a spirit of community. That's why this outlet is so important to our community, because y'all do community work every day to improve the quality of people's lives. And for y'all to take that initiative just for yourself, the recreation department, what are they doing? I don't know.
Because kids are excited to go to a swimming pool.
They are. And black children need to swim.
Yeah, we need to swim.
We need to learn how to swim.
Tony said too much competition among religious leadership instead of togetherness. Well, that's almost like having a mafia here and a mafia. But anyway,
that's real. That's real.
Trying to lead people off a cliff is assisted suicide. Bad company and corrupt Lester Miller corrupts good character. Hold true to your good character. Emma Davis says, Sister Bumpers, where you've been, Gail, all this time. It's about time someone speaks truth to power. She's been speaking it the whole time. Like Sita. What is Sita? What is Sita? Sita.
The region commission, every community. Let me help us a little bit, because education is so important. When you know better, what we should do better, right? So every community has, in the state of Georgia, a region commission. And the region commission purpose and vision and mission is to support government in programming, administration, making sure policy is written correctly and a community is thriving. What has happened in our community is that our region commission has had the mindset of the administration of Donald Trump. Research, Middle Georgia Region Commission is on Emory Highway. And the commission is designed for communities to come together,
right,
to put infrastructure issues, development on the table issues, anything to help uplift a community versus them destroying one. So I've had that opportunity of being inside of that space when I first came to Macon. And so I discovered a lot by watching and listening to people. It's so important for us to understand that we are in this situation by design. You have to understand the Angelical Church.
That's right.
Okay? If we're going to talk about history, this was their playbook 50 years ago.
That's right. That's right.
And because white evangelical preachers did not want people of color to benefit. So sad.
It's the
They
truth.
use the church platform for their own personal gain. And so you had this is the stigma of the disconnect in our community. Now we've turned on each other.
We turn on, and that's one thing that I did like about Reverend Eddie Smith. When he decided to choose his own identity
Mm-hmm.
on what he wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
whether you fellowship with him or not,
Not. Mm-hmm.
he believed what he believed.
Right.
And if you didn't like them saying namaste, he didn't care.
Yeah, that's right.
And when we create our identity, we at WDDO, we have our own
You do.
identity.
And
We
they
have our
can't
own identity.
control it. If they could shut this down, it would have been down.
Yes.
But they can't.
Phyllis Renee Theodore says, so true, WDDO is a community builder who responds to the need of the community. I'm a testimony. My daughter, WDDO, helped her with her pageant, and she's now at her workshop in Tennessee.
Wow.
Now, due to the support from WDDO and the great community,
Awesome.
let's support Black-owned businesses. Donise Brown says, thank you for giving us the voice, Apostle. Phyllis said, yes, WDDO is a
Yes.
community builder. LJ Malone says, where is the data? This
That's right.
administration doesn't share any budget reports.
And that's
What?
because Lester controls your budget. It really all makes sense. I bet you if we did, we should be asking for audits. We
Why
should be,
aren't we
okay,
asking?
we want to sit idly by and not say, and a lot of us are voicing, but I wouldn't have went into any position without a government position without an audit. Because what it does is that you take on someone else's good or bad.
Bad.
So why haven't we had an audit from Lester Miller? Why isn't Lester open enough to share reporting and the budget? Because what he did was he created a community of the whole. So before he puts anything on the floor at his commission meeting, he's already had the meeting before the meeting, before the meeting, before the meeting. Y'all get me?
Oh, I do.
And so it's
I
by
do.
design for him to control and regulate us. He wants a third term because he wants to steal more money.
So
Not saying.
so the control
Mm-hmm.
of our portrayal of who they said we've put in office is to let's keep who we want in power to keep cover because we are part of this as well.
Right, because you'll be discovered
We'll
as
be
well.
discovered as well.
And the realist is you just nailed it. If I did something that was not pure and clean as an advocate, y'all will be the first to know it.
You better believe
You
it.
see what I'm saying?
You better believe it.
They'll be the first
And
to
we'll
know it.
kill you. We'll try to destroy
And
you.
y'all would kill me.
That's right. That is so
If I
true.
had taken anything from him, I cannot be bought or sold. So you got to have a mentality for that.
Ooh, let's see.
They killing it.
At my door. Hold on. Keep
Okay.
talking. Keep talking.
So let's talk about the facade leadership. Let's go back to that. The facade leadership is by design, and it supports an individual or a cluster of people to keep a community oppressed. And so that's why WDDO radio is so important, because y'all are getting real true conversation, real true perspectives. You don't have to think like Renee. You don't have to be like Renee, but all I'm giving you is the other angle of how foul the government has displayed itself. And Lester, he really intimidates a lot of people, and he has that fear mongering going on in this community. So you get a group of people that don't know how to respond to him and his ignorance.
The commissioner is here behind me.
Oh, wonderful. I
this
like
morning.
her. Hello. How you doing?
She never met you. Come on in.
Oh,
This is
hello, how are you? Good to see you. Yes, dear.
it's happening right here on 980 WDDO.
Mhm.
What truth is the light?
It is the light, and truth will set you free. When you know better, you should do better. But
Correct.
I have observed and studied this personality, because this person came after my family. Lester literally came after my husband to tarnish his character. So what makes people do that, and why we're looking at facade leadership across the nation, is because they get intimidated by intelligent people. There's an inferior that takes place in his heart and his mind. And so let me quiet this person down so I can keep moving.
But since the commissioner is here, I do want to ask a question. The purpose of being elected in office, you all become a voice for the people. Come explain that to us. You can sit right here.
She can sit right here.
Yeah, go ahead. Explain that to us.
For me, I am just getting in there. So I like what Reverend Bumper say, Lady Bumper say. I like what she says. We are kind of held back, and I'm just talking about my experience. I didn't know everything that was going on with the politicians and everything that was going on in the political world. When you're in your own home, paying your own bills, working your job 9 to 5, you think everything is okay.
That's right.
But when you start looking at, okay, I've been here for X amount of years, I haven't seen them come over here and do anything in this neighborhood. They're not servicing the stormwater drains. They're not paving roads.
In
But
your
when-
area
in
that
my
you're
area.
commissioner. Wow.
And I say, but when I go on the north side or downtown, I see all this stuff. I said, what are we? Are we paying taxes also? I said, so then you start looking at it. So a lot of people are kind of naive, because even my neighbors, they are now so focused and so aware of everything that's going on. And they're like, we would never have known until you started
Wow.
doing this. So some people don't even understand that we have a voice, and we are the voice. The people, the community are the voice. The community elects us in there, and we're the ones that answer to them. I was under the understanding that
So that's why I want to stop at it. If we answer to the people,
right.
why do we try to please the mayor or whoever, or we are, because when I look at meetings, it's just like leadership. It should be a round table. A round table said we are accountable to each other.
It's not. I made that comment the other night. I think Renata Scott, she recorded it, because at the end of the session, the comments are no longer recorded.
That's right.
What's not on the agenda. And we don't put stuff on the agenda. So that's what I tried to tell people at town hall meeting. It's not a round table where everybody gets invited to the table. I know
That's
the
very
mayor's
unfair.
listening. I know he's listening. They did a task force of the initiatives. Me being a law enforcement 26 years,
Right.
lieutenant, why wasn't I invited to that table? I have so much insight. I just came out the jail, so I know what's going on in the jail. I know the people that's been there, like Bo
Well, you
White.
probably would be blackballed because you come on the show.
It don't matter, because you
Yeah.
know what? I am one of those people. You come after me, I got a whole big kind of sheriff force that I know they ain't gonna play about that.
Yes.
That they know they're not gonna play about that. But I was listening to her, and I said sometimes people think things are coincidence. So I'm just gonna say this. I've been going to the Macon Water Authority meetings, listening to Elaine Lucas them, and I kind of just thought, okay, I'm just going in here trying to observe, because you want to kind of get feedback and what you can do and what you can't do. And when I first started running, they cut my neighbor's water off. We'll go back into that later. I was like,
I'm not surprised.
I was like, well, did you pay your bill? Because I'm like, well, maybe she didn't pay her bill,
Right.
but her water was in my name. So I told her, I said, so she showed me the receipt. They called, they came back. They don't know why they cut it off. But recently, I paid cash. I didn't tell Elaine this. I told Desmond that. I paid cash. And I normally don't pay cash because I want some kind of receipt. They sent me a bill for the $200 for some water. And I said, no, I paid the bill. They said, do you have a receipt? I said, I ain't giving y'all no receipt. I'm going to give you a receipt number. Now, I'm not going to come down there and show you no receipt, but y'all better get my water straight. They called me back and said, oh, we found the receipt. We don't know what happened to the $87, but just think.
What?
Why y'all cutting my water off? In the 25 years I've been there, no water's never been cut off. I'm not going to say I don't forget, but it ain't even been late.
Yeah.
I might pay it on the day of, But they cut it off, and I had the receipts. I sent them, and I was like, "What?" And I didn't send
We
them to
believe
them.
you ain't got to show us no
And
receipt.
I'm like, "What
Because-
in the world?" So now y'all playing because I'm showing up. It's not. I don't believe in all the
That
police
is
in
that
this.
is, and you know this little building here, our water bill. We're here. We don't pay that much, but our water bill is $441
Oh no, this shouldn't be.
for 1 month.
Oh no,
There's
that
no
shouldn't be.
leaks. There's no nothing.
That
That's
shouldn't be.
for 1 month.
Yeah, but
we always got to go back to how why is this happening? Her being here is going to create more conversation because he sure is listening. Because they don't want to be accountable. So put this fear piece in.
But why?
put
Take
it
that
in,
mic back,
they
because I
do
want to
it.
know why we're so strong.
Look at that.
We're so strong. We are. L.J. Malone says he's threatened commissioners that don't support his personal agenda.
That's what he does.
I've seen vicious text messages and I've heard virtual coming from his mouth saying he won't support anything or anyone that
don't support him. So let's talk about the personal
This is
vendetta
not good.
things that he has done. I'm talking about what he's done in my household. Okay. So I can only speak about what I know. So Lester created this image from that white evangelical group that was floating in our community 50 some plus years ago. And that movement of white men being the dominant factor, that's why they are attacking the things that they're attacking, because they want to be in control. So the reason why there's no voice at the commission is because he sold this community on consolidation, which would allow him to be the power. He holds the power. He has created a board of commission. She know I'm talking about that they meet, and he presents.
Is that part of the one that was elected or put in? Just not going through what a commissioner is supposed to go through in order to be a commissioner. Isn't that certain things that
that's training and things of that. But what they've done is in this community, she can speak for herself. What they've done in this community, they've silenced the commissioner. So she could be representing her community correctly, but it doesn't get the support it's needed from her other commissioners that are sitting around the round cabinet.
What happens if your whole constituents show up in that meeting then?
Okay. So I like what somebody said. Earlier. Sometimes with making the mentality is they're scared. And I don't know what they're scared of, because I'm not going to call any names, but the other night we had the meeting. I invited some people to come. Y'all have some issues. Come talk about it. They pretty much text me back and said, no, he's probably going to mess with our job or whatever. And I said, well, I can get another job, but I can't get another me. I said, there's safety.
Christ.
I said, but
Jesus
I said,
Christ.
but what? Y'all want people to fight for you all, but you don't want to back them up. Exactly. I'm gonna be a one-man show, and I can deal with that right now. But when it comes to the things that that affects you all, you need to be there
and voice it.
That's what, but they don't want to because they're scared. They are scared, and I'm saying my safety.
That's sad though. My heart is dropping because
anything.
We have a group of people that are living in fear.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That hurts my heart.
But retaliation is correct. She just said it. There's people that lost their jobs by not supporting Lester, and he fired them. He came after families. I can name 5 or 6 families in this community that have been blackballed. They can't get jobs and opportunities.
That you were hurt? You were hurt families?
Oh yeah.
What kind of heart do you have
how he does.
that you were hurt families intentionally?
That's because it pulls down to, I don't want anyone to speak negative about it. So that's what he does. He's a troll. He goes in certain places to troll and see where the conversation is coming from. My voice will not be silenced. I've been speaking the last 13 years, being in Macon. And Lester had a problem with me personally because I was the person that sold the building downtown at 108 First Street 3 times, the hotel. So my track record as an acquisition agent, it bothered him.
So let's blow it down.
And so you blow the building up because that was the place I met my wonderful husband.
Wow.
So that's retaliation. There are another signs of retaliation. When I was working with the Middle Georgia Region Commission, I filed a lawsuit against the Region Commission. Why? Because Lester was behind that. He's even went into my HIPAA violations. I can put it all out here. I have a reason of why I'm in this seat because I share what I have personally went through. My story is real. He has never spoke to me. He has never spoke to my husband. So when you have that kind of mentality of I'm the man, you can't touch me, I got this going on. But I find it so strange that if he did not have the Black community supporting him, we wouldn't be in the shape we're in because the white community does not support him.
That's not supportive.
They don't support him.
And I've seen things on just social media is very powerful. That that was a march recently up to City Hall. And it's almost like they go out, like the mayor sends us out, go out and handle that for us, or go out and handle that. And I think that's an embarrassing moment.
It is embarrassing
for us as leaders, because regardless of your office,
you got to answer to us. You got to respond.
You got to respond.
And he has to take ownership in what he has not done. He needs to take ownership of what he has done over the last 30 years. We're in this situation here in Macon because of Lester Miller. We got to just put it out there. He has been working underground for 30 plus years so he can create his need for greed and to shame or embarrass a community.
But
he is a very
I think it's very
mind.
hard for someone like Commissioner, thank you for coming in, that has been in law enforcement for 20 some years or 30 some years. And it's hard for her to suppress when she see illegal stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be very hard for you to have work to keep our streets clean,
safe,
to keep our communities safe, keep and to see that this is the payback, knowing who I am. And the thing is, I say it all the time, people like you all can be the building of a new community. In a sense of truth is here, the voice is being heard, that we are here to support. But if we continue to have Black leaderships, pastors, if we continue to have people that has educated our people and trust betray our people, they are a betrayal to you.
Exactly.
And they are a betrayal to us. What's your feeling?
When you said that about, I don't think a lot of stuff, because of them knowing who I am, they're not going to invite me to that table anyway. So I don't see, because I think I'm kind of smart and I catch on quick and I observe quickly, because that's one thing that law enforcement, they learn to observe.
Right.
Don't say, just observe. So I think because of that background, I'm not going to know. They're not going to teach me a lot of stuff. So that's why I'm looking for the other leaders that have been leaders, including the Mayor Jack Ellis, to teach me some stuff that I need to know while I'm there. Because we're taking classes that tells us what we can do, like with tax and property assessment, ethics, economic development.
Wow.
We take those classes through ACCG. So you don't become a certified commissioner until you take the core classes. So it's 9 classes. I think I have about 2 more. But I really want to know what I can and
cannot do. I have a question for you now. I want to interrupt this program to bring this question. 3 years ago, who runs the jail now?
And you mean the sheriff?
The
sheriff?
There was somebody, because it used to be Woodford.
Major Woodford used to be over the jail. I was there when he was there.
Okay, then who came after Major Woodford?
Who?
Who's over it now?
Patterson.
That's who's over it now. Who
Patterson.
was it before Woodford?
Ooh.
Now,
I think it was Major Williams.
Now the reason I'm saying this because I've heard something the other day about the grand jury didn't go or they didn't check. I did do some research. the jail had problems, but it was not inhumane.
Right.
Now you move Woodford, you move the other guy, and now whoever is there now, there has to be some answering as well, going up to the mayor and the sheriff of who you are appointing to be in these positions.
That's why.
Okay.
Now
so
that's just me talking.
let
now.
me start with this. I think as the commissioners, we are supposed to be funding
That's
the
right.
jail, not
That's right.
managing the jail. I think
Funding.
we're kind of crossing the line when we become with these initiatives. I think that they should have gave us the initiatives that they needed, and we should have
Worked it.
provided the funding. Look at it, provide the funding. I think we're kind of crossing that line, but that's just me. Because if you've never worked in jail, you've never worked in law
That's
enforcement,
right.
You don't know.
you
what needs.
don't know. So you're bringing in people that don't know anything about 668.
Well, I
Overthrow
think
Street.
sometimes that when we bring in our buddy and our good pal just to do you a favor and without knowledge, just like President Trump is doing,
That's right.
putting people in position that has
So they
no
can control.
so they can control.
And that works. But you have to invite those people that when the jail was thriving, like Major Boatwright, Captain Cootie,
Mhm.
Lieutenant Cynthia Robinson. These were people when the jail was
Doing
doing good. Invite them and say, hey, what was going on then that's not going on now? What can you give us? Because they have procedures in place, policies in place, like the military. Once you follow these procedures and policies, everything should run. People have to be accountable for not doing their job. So I say first, it's a criminal for breaking breaking the law. But then you have to understand that the correctional officers that work there, those are just the gatekeepers. They are not responsible for letting people out of jail.
Mhm.
They can't just go there and say, hey, it's your turn, you can go.
Mhm.
But it has to be people in place that says, hey, I'm either going to try this case, I'm going to take this case, or I have enough to indict it, or I don't, or the probation officer has to come back and say, hey, I put this person in here for a weekend, it's time for them to go, or someone in booking has to look at the scheduled release dates, they have to go out to prison. So it's a lot of components to the jail.
Wow.
Why wasn't you
unless-
invited on?
Why
the
wasn't
task?
you invited?
See,
to the
those are
task
the
You
force?
questions.
have to know that. But Boatwright was there for years. And that's the person, if I had the task force, I would have invited him in there.
But I
to
think
say,
what you're saying is,
what would we need to do?
I think it's very true. What does Bishop say there, Renee?
Where are you at?
Right.
It's competence is required for employment. And you know what, Bishop, you're exactly right. We have put a lot of dumb people in leadership postures. I hate to say that, but for what I'm seeing going on, the commissioner's voices have been silenced, and they can make positive, effective change. But when Lester hear it, he's going to shoot them down every time. It's going to be Lester's way or the highway.
LJ Malone said we can
I call
build-
it out every time I see it.
We can build an amphitheater, new arena in
Mhm.
East Macon Bank Development, but not a jail. There's a narrative being created to promote us as a tourist town that disregards and displaces existing undeserved communities.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
About it. This is what I say about bringing in tourist and revenue. Every county, every city needs to have revenue coming in from the tourists. But we also got to remember that there's a community of citizens there that keep the tourists safe when they come.
That's
Does
right.
that make sense?
Okay.
In order for you to come in my city,
It's got to be safe.
it's got to be safe.
And we're
Wow.
known
And
not
it's
to be
not-
safe.
not-
It's
to be
got to be
safe.
safe. So we do some stuff to help our community. Then they create an environment so it is safe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to go what Tone Miller says. Morale was up in the jail when those people were in charge. I want to go back to that. When the prior Major Woodford, whoever was before that. Now, that's something to say morale up in jail. That means that there was a sense of caring, in a sense of people wanting to come to work. I've seen that. I've seen people. My brother was a sheriff, and because things was right, people wanted to go to work. I worked for the sheriff department, and that was an excitement about being it. Because if the morale of your leaders go down or your employees go down and the morale of it is horrible, then it's over. We have to have leaders. Even in my church, I keep the morale of my leaders up. I have leadership meetings, and that's
It's important.
and we build our morale for each other. But if we don't have a leader that's building the morale of the employees or the people with integrity,
Right.
with caring, with see when I can sense that you care for me or you care about me, that's just like the Bible talks about Solomon, Rehoboam, and Jeroboam. Yeah, and he says that they went and says, your daddy was mean to us. Your daddy put scorpions and webs on us. And he went and consulted his homeboys, and they said, be worse than your daddy. This is what the people said. They said, we saw that you did not listen.
Wow.
What inheritance do we have?
Well,
why are we even here?
Well, what I have to say, I really do appreciate you stepping in here, because it's not about validation or confirmation or nothing. What it's about is putting attention in the places so we can find solutions to move forward. And it's alarming that all the training certificates that you gathered from them, they will not be utilized because of the training. Every other county and other places are thriving because the people that we elect in office that want to do the right thing, their voice is silenced. And so we can have conversations. We need town hall meetings so we can build and organize correctly, just like the movement that took place with Donald Trump and his birthday. No kings, right? How powerful
that was powerful.
Was for the millennium organizers that the young people did that movement.
That's exactly right.
And if
that's
we don't,
exactly right.
Exactly. So we have to be creative in to call things out and say, look, for those preachers that have taken crumbs, you need to look at it from this angle. Because when you get educated and know what's taking place in people's lives, maybe you may be more compassionate with that Bible that we read daily to speak about truth and power. So for me in my household, I'm going to always do the right thing for my community, even if I have to stand alone, which I'm not, because y'all are here.
We're here.
So what we have to do is, like yesterday, when he came on Ask Elaine show, purposely, I knew he was coming, but I wouldn't go on to see that conversation live. But I had a chance to go back and listen. Because at the end of the day, he was ultimately responsible for that jail.
That's right.
In his first term.
Right.
So if he cared enough then, when he first got into office, he could have started activity and put things in place.
LJ Malone said Warner Robins is a great example of great leadership, and that's why their population and growth have surpassed Macon. Antonio Odom says the tourists are ushered to their neighborhoods and only get a glimpse of the undeserved communities. Bishop said boosting tourism would be excellent for the city, but the whole city needs to be upgraded to accommodate that boost. Let every community be a showpiece. That'll bring more revenue and boost the morale of the city as a whole. Phyllis Theodore says yes, because an educated, beautiful, inclusive female mayor manages all operations and is doing it right thing for all. No hidden agenda, powerful sister. Yeah. And she came through this radio station. And when she came, she said, listen, I don't have a whole lot of this. My budget is, and we encouraged her to come back, advertise. You're going to win. And this woman is doing an excellent, just so as Denise Bryant. Yes. Commissioner.
I would like to, when you were talking about the community, the commissioners, what people don't understand is, I'm just learning. I heard Virgil talk about it. It's a community of the whole. It is. And what that means is we have committee of the whole. We have 9 commissioners. And if I want a store, I'm just going to do an example. If I want a store to be right here on the corner of Napier and Pinona, I can present it. But if I don't have 5 people to vote with me,
It doesn't get
it doesn't get passed. So I gotta have my team of 5 people now. You can count it out how many probably gonna be with me.
And the cards against you. The stack is
So-
by design.
So I don't get money allocated to my
God,
district.
this
I
is
don't
sad.
get 30,
Hold on, Macon, Middle Georgia. Are you hearing this? That I want you. What is your community? What is your word?
District 8, Bloomfield and Heath Road. So I don't get
Bloomfield. Listen to me, Bloomfield. You're suffering.
So that was Al Tillman's.
money. No, Virgil.
Your community is suffering. I want you to hear this lady this morning. Because if he has 6, that's going to always go with him.
Majority.
That's the majority. So it's going to almost cause certain it's about to bring tears to my eyes to die out.
Easy.
Grandmothers are in that neighborhood.
Right.
Fathers, daughters, and because you are cynical and selfish, that our other blacks can watch this happen to their communities.
And these are some of the
Wait.
older communities, the oldest
Yeah.
communities.
But
Did you
Apostle,
see?
you said that. Listen to this.
You take that mic.
By design. Again, everything in government is by design. So what we need to we need to recognize the challenges. So if she, as a commissioner, if she doesn't get 5 others to agree with anything that is positive and would help to make a community or a district better,
community is suffering.
it's going to suffer
That's horrible.
by design. Okay. But let's go deeper than this. When a person that is sitting in the seat of leadership is not sharing the information, then that person's agenda keeps growing and benefiting. The reason why Lester wants to stay, because the people in Atlanta have discovered he's not a smart, intelligent, competent man, but he's always in Forsyth County causing trouble and causing more conversation over there because he fails to work his own city.
Good God.
And we don't get up and go to commission meetings as a community. Let me talk about that. It lies on us. Every Tuesday,
We must have
first and third Tuesday out of each month, they meet at what time?
6 o'clock for
Regular
agenda
commission.
items, but about 5 for agenda.
Y'all know who writes the agenda? Lester Miller. Her voice as commissioners don't get heard.
So it's almost like what the people said to Jeroboam, why are we here? Why did they vote me in? Why do I even come to a meeting and you're just going to let me sit here as though I have no voice, that I have nothing to say?
Yeah.
And I'm going to really talk about that a whole lot on this show.
Well, why I come is because
I know why you come. I'm just saying in an essence of if you're going to overlook my community, if you have already made up your mind that why do we have an election?
You're correct, but I have to use Shakita Maxwell words. When I go in there, I think God is in control. When you close one door, He's gonna open another.
Yes.
When you say no, He's gonna say yes. You may not even know why you said yes.
Yeah.
But it may not be today, and it may be tomorrow. But it's coming.
Right.
And I'm just gonna have to sit there.
But
and
with
I'm gonna
this
have to wait on God.
platform, a lot of people are learning a lot this morning that many people didn't know that's the way it goes. Many didn't know that our community is being overlooked. And for this voice to be heard this morning, and I know my time got another interview at 9 o'clock, but for our voice to be heard this morning, talk about this platform and why it's important.
It's important that a facade leadership, we do not need him in a third term. He has shown this community that he has not a full capacity to work together. And if he can't work with the commissioners, how is he going to work with the community?
Because yes.
And supporting what is right. When I came to Macon, there was a lot of Black business owners. There's several in this community now that have betrayed the community by not voicing their opinion of
it's
what's taking
betrayal.
place.
Strong
So
betrayal.
when you know better, we should do better. The bottom line is that this piece of how we got here was a takeover spirit, a takeover mentality, of keeping a community oppressed and depressed.
Patrick Davis says obstacles to new jail. District 5 with Seth Clark is majority black district. District 9 is Lester's
Exactly.
appointed Brendolyn Bailey.
It's
There's
black folk.
in
It's
District
us, y'all.
7 with Bill Howell, which is a majority minority district. We're under a tyrant government. Wow.
And he's tyrant in the way that he presents himself in black community as he's the fun-loving sneaker ball, boots on the ground dancing
Boots on-
mayor, but in the community, in his own community, he's not accepted. White people don't fool with Lester Miller.
Wow.
That should say something to us.
Mhm.
As a community, they don't fool with him. They don't support him. We support him.
Right. And it has to be in this overlook. Shakita Maxwell says, overlook, they're trying to erase us. We will not be erased. We will race on to victory. The victory belongs to you. Commissioner, what do you feel about this platform this morning?
I think it's wonderful. And
you.
if you were not here, a lot of the things would not be told and people would not know, even with the Village Talks, with Elaine Lucas, with this show, when you invite people and you invite people to call in and ask questions. And I say people need to ask questions.
Ask questions. Yeah.
What I want to say is that for the mayor and the commissioners, I think that we have to do what's best for the community,
Of course.
as a whole, and we have to keep that in mind. We can't keep a group of people in mind and expect crumbs to be given to everybody else. We have to keep everything we do has to be for the advancement of the community.
As we work.
And we have to think about that when we make any decisions. Is it going to be best for the whole community, for the whole city of Macon? That's right.
Wow. This has been an incredible show. We have taken 2 hours this morning.
I love it. It was great.
Listen, it is the number one gospel station right here in Macon, Middle Georgia. Right now, 523,000 listeners.
Wow.
This morning, and we are certainly excited. The conversation is so critical for our community and the interest of the United States of America. Thank you, all of you, for your comments this morning. Olympia Brown, Chiquita Maxwell, LJ Malone, Power of the People, Over the People, in Power. Wow. Patrick Davis, Chiquita Maxwell, thank you so much. Emma David, thank you, Cynthia Searcy, Turnay Miller, thank you so much, Phyllis. Thank you, Bishop Don Scott, Antonio Odoms. Thank you so much, all of you that are on and yet online. More to come right here at 980 WDDO. This is your God, brother. Thank you, Commissioner Donis. You're doing an incredible job.
Right.
Thank you for your love and your boldness this morning to coming out and be on our show. We'll be right back. We're not even tuning out this morning. We're going into our next interview right here on 107.9 FM on your dial. Vertise Z, Rozier. This next song goes out to the entire community. Tell the Reverend Papas, thank you.
I will. Y'all, thank you all today. And thank you, Bishop.
Come on and call you on there.
Hey, this Dave Scott, I enjoyed that. Some people talking. I want to know who is controlling South Macon. This Dave Scott, I want to know who controls South Macon.
What road you on? Okay, I don't know.
I think he's
Right here, Hicks.
Hicks.
He's next to that one. Oh, where Hicks is.
Seth Clark. Seth Clark on this side. Anthony Road coming down from Church's Street.
Yes.
The left is mine. The right is Seth.
Seth. Okay,
Gotcha.
that's who's there. All right.
Oh, you got Listen, Jordan River, chilly and cold. Chill my body, not my soul. Keep your soul. Yeah. Lord. Oh, you got all. Oh, you got all. Hey, keep your. Yeah. Listen. Went to the valley, wanted to pray. So God happy, I stayed all day. Keep your soul. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you got all. Oh, you got all. Oh, keep your. Yeah. Come on, go. One of these mornings won't be long. Look for me and I'll be gone. Keep your.
All right, it's live right here at 980W. What an exciting morning. And tell me, what do you think about this show? Put your comments up on what you think about this show this morning. We're still live on 980W.
Hey, keep your. Yeah.
I can't hear you. I hear music.
All right, good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in to 980 WDDO, the all-new 107.9 FM on your dial. This is your God brother, your God son, your God nephew, Vertise Z, Rozier. I have my next guest in this morning, Ali Adventures. Let's talk to him this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Man, how are you and how is everything?
I am always bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. There's always an adventure around the corner, and I love peeking around every single one. And so that's what we're doing.
Perfect. I am so excited to bring you on this morning to talk about the essence of Ali Adventures.
Yes.
What you do, who are you, and how did this vision start, and how you can help our community?
Absolutely. Well, you never know how your calling is going to find you.
That's right.
Right. It shows up one day. And when I was going up through school and going to college, I was one of those kids that was the Pell Grant recipient. I was doing the federal work study program. I found myself didn't have a lot of resources, and luckily I got a work study job in the financial aid department at Georgia Southern.
Okay.
And what I did was I learned all the rules, and what I found was that I could help kids afford to go to school, because I could help them navigate the rules in a way that a lot of people feel like, if you ask anybody about their financial aid counselor, most of them are like, that lady just wanted me to get back out of her office.
Okay.
And I'm nothing if not verbose with my dialogue. So I was able to help kids do that. And what I learned was that I could help people navigate financial ways to earn them kind of the best deal, because I didn't have anything to gain out of it, right? All I could do was gift them the ability to do this. But after about 15 years, being in the financial aid department got to be kind of depressing, because people don't come in because they're doing well. They'd come in because they need funds. And so I got another job working in a travel company. And what I realized was that I could help do the same thing that I was doing before, but with travel. I was able to take kids places they've never been before. I've seen hundreds of kids see the ocean for the first time in their lives. And, maybe the last time. But what I found was just being able to help people do what they couldn't do, and being able to give somebody that gift of adventure, I don't know. You cannot replace that feeling in your chest when you know that the people on that bus behind you are fixing to do something that they've never done before. When you get on a bus and you're like, who's ever been on an airplane? And 2 hands come up. And then when you land in New York City and you're like, who's been on an airplane? And everybody's like, me. Yeah. And I'm like, I was able to help facilitate that. It changed my life. And so I decided to do it. I decided to go all in. And what I did was I developed a booking platform. And so people can reach out to me. I can plan tours with my team. I can put together itineraries. And what I do is I take whatever your dreams are and I help find a way to make them financially viable, right? That's the biggest thing is with group travel specifically. And this is what a lot of people don't realize is there's some benefits that you don't get going by yourself. Okay. One, the obvious is that you're taking a motor coach.
Yes.
Right. So, Orlando is 6 hours away. It's a long drive. Sometimes that's a little too long for people to drive, but you're on a bus, so you don't have to worry about that. But when you're going to a bigger city, if you're going to New Orleans or Chicago or New York or DC, it can be scary. That's right. Correct. You're there by yourself, right? And you may not know where you're going or what you're doing. But you're with a group, it is security in numbers. So you are there with your friends, with your family, with your church group, your school group, whatever group came together. So you get to go in that group. That's one thing. And another thing is that almost every location, whether it's a restaurant or an attraction or a hotel, they offer group block rates. So people don't realize that when I go book a hotel room, I don't book one room, I book 40. And because of that, we get a better deal. And what happens is I pass all those savings along to the customer because ultimately it's about, can I give you what you want in a way you can afford to do it? Can I get you on this adventure? And that's what I do is I work with group leads and I figure out what they want. And then I go find it.
Now, I did have a question for you that was brought. If a person say to you, because I told them all they have to do is tell you when, where they want to go. This was the question though. Are you able to look in that area on places that they can go as a group and plan,
absolutely,
get the tickets? Explain that.
Yes. So what I do is me and my reservationists do exactly that. When you tell me, even if you've never been, let's say you want a group trip to Chicago. That's and right. You're not exactly sure what you want to do.
That's exactly.
The first step, I guess, is always the internet, right? I will go and my Google foo is very strong, and my ability to use Google Maps is I dare say nearly unmatched. And I will find every awesome thing that there is. And then what I do is I work with that group leader. So whoever contacts me, they're my boss, right? And so their group is following them, their leadership, and their leadership is communicating with me. So I'll develop a plan, and then I offer a plan, and I say, here's what I think. Here are the things that we can kind of switch in and switch out. And usually, it's like, have an attraction in the morning, go get some lunch. Have an attraction in the afternoon, go get some dinner. Have like an evening entertainment, go to the hotel.
You won't even find that. Maybe a Chick-fil-A, get a
Absolutely.
deal. They don't have to worry about that.
No, and I'll even have box lunches. Sometimes it's for kids groups. It's adults too.
You've done it on our trip. You've had places to actually meet us.
Yeah,
there.
Firehouse. I have a network of places that I know provide box lunches on the go. And honestly, I try to use. One of the cool things about what I'm doing is because I'm taking the community's money, I get to put it back into the community where they come from too. So like when I book my bus vendors, I make sure I use local reliable transportation. Yes. When I reach out to local restaurants and see if they have box menus that they can deliver and meet us out there if we're on the road, or make sure they have a custom group menu built for us so that when we get there, we can get the best of what they have to offer for the price that makes it so you can't do what I do by yourself.
So to book with you, let's get some numbers and some emails. And we experience you ourselves here at Roscoe Tours, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know how you do it. I've seen you book 10 buses in one day.
Yeah,
6 going one way, 2 going another way, 2 going another way, and you're on the phone with your directors, navigating these things so that they will work smoothly.
I am awake and alert for 24 hours a day until everybody's home safe, for sure. Yes. And it's not always easy, and it can be stressful because and that's kind of why I love it too. It's doing a job when it's completely predictable is admirable for sure. But oh, when things go wrong on the road,
Yeah, you
that's
can
when
make
the
it happen,
real
yes.
adventure happens. You know, can you get that bus issue fixed if it happens? Can you get that restaurant? You know, and you never know. No matter how many emails you have confirmations for, that restaurant may be like, oh, well, we didn't expect you,
That's
and like
exactly
you got to
right.
get them in there somewhere. You got to
Exactly
feed them,
right.
and so that's what I do. Is if I'm not on the trip myself, I have a group of tour directors I work with, and I'm in constant communication.
And your brother's amazing.
Yeah,
Your brother's amazing.
You know, and it's funny too because educators, people that work in the service industry, people that work in restaurants and
Yes.
stuff like that, they're used to groups, and they're also used to taking flack from those people in those groups, and they're used to handling it. So they
He's an
really.
assistant principal too, and he handles. I mean, you know, we had, but the way he handled, and he has a way of telling you how he feel with a smile.
Mhm. Yeah, it's you know, it's funny because it's definitely a customer service industry, and it's not for everyone,
Yes, it's not for everyone,
because the amount of, you know,
pressure.
when you look back and there's 55 other faces looking at you and they're mad,
Yeah.
it is a hard feeling.
Yes.
But when you look back and they're happy, it's the best
Good
feeling.
thing. Man,
Yeah.
a number this morning. They got some said they need his contact information. What's your number?
So my number is 478-250-6441. And yeah, just reach out, text. If I don't answer, a lot of times it's because my phone gets calls a lot.
And it's Stephen Purvis.
Yes, Stephen, Stephen.
You know what, Stephen? I didn't realize that. I thought Purvis was your first name.
You know, funnily enough, almost everybody that I know
did.
calls me Purvis. And that's okay. If you call me Purvis, I will respond. I've also been called Ollie. My company is Ollie's Adventures, right? But people call me Ollie. I respond.
Where did Ollie come from?
My son's name is Oliver.
Oh.
Yep. The reason I started my company 3 years ago, I was with another company, and I was at Epcot Center at Disney World with my son, and we were about to ride the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. And at that time, it was brand new; it had just come out, and you had to kind of sit in a lottery queue just to get a slot on the ride. And it just so happens that out of everybody on the bus, I was late doing it because I was helping somebody with a DVD player on the bus, and we were late enough to get the right time slot. And he made this face, and on the camera, he was like. And he did that to me in the line, and just the level of excitement that he had to be there, it burned itself in the back of my mind. It's like, I want to put that face
on every face.
On every face. Man. And so that's what I did. I came home, I used the summer. I you know, I spent more money than I thought I was going to spend on building a website. That's an endeavor. But yeah, we put it together, and now we are open for request. You can go to the website. It's adventureswithollie.com. So that's Adventures. Adventures. Yeah, Adventures with Ollie OLLIE.com. Yep. And basically, when you go to it, if you're just a visitor, it doesn't look like much because it's really meant for once you have a trip built. That's where you're
well, it's very simplicity. I went to your site several times.
And if you have the trip built, what the good part about it is it's not what's on the surface, but once you're a group leader and you get signed up for a trip, you have access to all the other people who sign up. You have access to the itinerary. You get to do rooming lists for hotels. You get to customize what your customers need. Like, so for instance, if you want to opt in and have t-shirts, or if you want to have optional meals, or let's say you want a group trip to New Orleans, but you want to have a show, but everybody doesn't want the show. We can make the show optional so people can sign up and get what they're adding for and add-ons and things. And that's really the crux of what the website is how to make it easier for my group leaders to see what's going on. So instead of keeping up with all that paper or keeping up with money or anything like that, customers can go, they sign onto the site, they can pay the deposit, they can make payments anytime they want. I only care about the first payment and the last payment. You know, so anytime you want to, you got $5 here, $10 there, you go make payments however you'd like. And then that way everybody can keep up with it. And then when the time comes, I have dietary restrictions listed. I have mobility restrictions listed. I have all that information about people so that when I go and I book restaurants and things like that, I can say, hey, I've got these 2 gluten-free folks. I've got 1 vegetarian. One person is allergic to tomatoes, you know, and then we get it worked out. So that means, we feed everybody well, and we take good care of them.
Man, that's Ollie Adventures right here, 980 WDDO. I would that you would give them a call today, 478-250-6441. Now, there is no group too small or no group too large.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, we work with our local transportation vendors, and if you have a smaller group, there are mini buses available. There are vans available. There's different prices. If you have a large group, as long as you know the numbers, I'll bring 10 buses if that's what you want. That's what we're doing. So the group number, it's kind of funny because I can put 1 person on the bus. It'd be real expensive. But yeah, like
that's
depending
on
what you need. Yeah. If that's what you're paying for, I can take care of it. And we'll find a way.
Church groups are listening. I have a big church audience. How can you accommodate up to 400 or 500 people. This is what they want to know. Going into a city,
Yep.
But they will be going in 3 different places
in
the city.
So if now that's complicated,
I
and,
know
and
it
you can
is.
handle it a couple of different ways. One way would be to book them as different trips, right? You know you're going at the same thing, but by assigning a different tour number to it, because that's what every time you create a tour, it's a different number, and that way we know who's going which way, who's doing what. That's one way to do it. If it's something as simple as like, if you're taking 500 people to a place, sometimes they can't hold that many people.
Right.
And then what you do then is you just split the itinerary, and you'll be like, bus A is going to do XYZ from this time block. Bus B does this, bus C does this. And then they meet here for like a lunch or meet here for a dinner. And it is logistics, right? If you call me and say that you have 400 people, I am going to have to call and see, is that facility capable of dealing with that? Because I don't want to make promise. I'm not going to write a check I can't cash in a way.
Right.
So I'll check, but yeah, there's always a way, and that's what I do is I figure out a
local
way.
city officials, government is listening to as well to the station. You can handle their itinerary
Absolutely.
as well too for their conferences and traveling.
Yeah,
needs as well.
Hotel reservations, meal reservations, conference rooms bookings, shows, literally anything, because my job is to spend most of my time on that computer, on that phone, talking to other people, shaking hands, making connections, making sure I'm getting good deals, negotiating sometimes on behalf of groups, asking for freebies sometimes because I don't mind doing that, and just making sure that, when you get there, I want, even because, the group leaders always got a hard job too.
Yes.
Right. They've got to make their group happy, and they know that their group is they're looking to them. Right. And so my job is to make sure that the group leader has to do less. I want them to get on that bus and be able to have a vacation too. Right. And so that's what we're building. And it's kind of liability. So for all you group leaders out there, you know how it is when something goes wrong and you look and everybody's looking at you, you feel like it's on you. But if I'm on that bus, then you just get to turn and look at me, and then I've got to fix your problem. And luckily I've got the company card in my back pocket, and there's very few problems I can't fix.
You always do a wonderful job, and thank you for using us. I know you have others, but thank you for using Roscoe Tours.
Me and Roscoe we're just getting started.
We are family. All right,
it's happening.
It's happening right here on 980 WDDO 107.9 FM on your dial. Thank you so much for tuning in with me this morning. All of you, all over America, all over that are tuned in. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Stephen Purvis. That's Ali Adventures.
Hello.
478-250-6441. That's 478-250-6441. That's Adventures with Ali. That's adventureswithali.com. All right. Share it with your friends. Write that number down. Call today and tell them that you heard it on 107.9 FM on your dial. I'm Vertise Z Rozier. Keep it locked in to 107.9 FM on your dial. I'm out.
You can help me sing victory. Listen, come on. He never told me how he's gonna do it. He never told me just how it's gonna